And so to introduce our guests, we have Leslie. We appreciate all our guests equally, but there are two honors. I got one after a very brief pause. Jennifer Rodriguez is back with us again. Secondly, those who've been in the club for a while would recognize one of our guests who will get introduced in time. But Ken Thompson is with us, former member of this club, a wonderful Rotarian. And so Leslie, why don't you introduce all of us?
Awesome. So I'm not going to introduce our speaker, but I will introduce. You're going to do it yourself, actually. Oh.
Leslie, thank you so much. My name is Rob Marjorie. I'm the Vice President of Development of Dix Park Conservancy, and I'm so excited that John Cates approached me about a year ago about the idea of how Rotary could help Dix Park Conservancy and Dix Park, the gym in downtown Raleigh. We are here today. I'm invited my board secretary and chair of our Arts Task Force, Marjorie Hodges, to share some nuggets of what's happening in the arts at Dix Park, and she's going to share with you some information about controls and the context of the good things that are coming up. So it should be on in a few minutes.
Hi, my name is Arno again, and I am moved to the Raleigh area from Georgia. I moved here 2 weeks ago with my wife and kids. Internal medicine physician, and currently work as the Chief Innovation Officer for Providence Health, which is South Carolina.
Just doesn't have his badge, so we're just walking away from him ever so slightly. He was memorized last meeting, inducted, we'll call that. Okay, so David. Okay, we're gonna skip David. He's getting inducted today, and you, sir, are a guest.
My name is Matthew Zob. I'm a guest at Western Moore. I work with a company called Booster Seniors. We're a national move management logistics company that focuses on senior relocation.
Hey, just for a little, taking voice for the community. First Street, and I'm like, to the Dix Park, where's the word? 3 miles out. Okay, what's the renovation? Oh, okay, so they love Dix Park over there at.
No, stay.
Oh, State Boys Credit, yeah, gosh. Okay.
Hey, my name is Bridget. So I grew up here in Raleigh. Actually finding out I went to St. Mary's and Daniels and some of the people here. Already have a guest with Brandy and currently a program with CBRE.
Broker with CBRE. CBRE. Okay. Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh, this fella. He's not really a guest, but he is today.
Hello, my name is Ken Thompson. I've been a member of 5 different clubs, and actually a member of this club twice. So I usually go to wherever I work that is closer. And right now I'm a member of the Rotary Club of North Raleigh. We meet in the Chicago Arts Center, and we love having you were there the other day. Yeah. It's really good to see you. So just thought I'd come back. I'm probably going to be at the gala. I was at the 100-year celebration, and I figured 110 would be a good idea also. I hope you all come.
I missed you and you're hiding. I'll find you later. Just kidding, I won't. Not a star. Okay.
All right, Leslie, let's get the hand to Leslie. So with that, we were talking about membership. Demonte, if you could come up with some really exciting news. And Kent said you've been a member twice. Third time could be the charm. So if you want to talk to Demonte, yeah, that would be fun.
Thank you, President Eric.
How's everybody doing? Y'all doing all right? I'm very glad you're there. Glad you're here. We're here at Rotary. So we're having a good time.
With that being said, regarding the membership, I just want to say, who all attended the Pinnacle Finance event, this past Thursday? Past Wednesday, raise your hand. Did you all have a good time?
Yes.
I love y'all. I'm just saying, I work for state employees, you kind of get me like, might think about you guys, so just be on the lookout. But also too, with that being said, here regarding here for the membership, I would like for David Williams to come on up. Yeah, we got a new Dusty, yes, let's go. With that being said. We good. Just want to give you guys a brief background again about David Williams. David is a native from Raleigh, North Carolina. David has been married with 2 children, Megan and Brittany. David has developed a passion for photography in high school covering Wake Weekly. David opened his first video in 1990, shooting for corporate and commercial photography. David's career has led him to taking pictures for President Donald Trump, President Joe Biden, as well as one of David's favorite thing to do is a triathlete. Basically that consists of running, swimming, cycling, strength training. With that gift, he's also able to coach gentlemen that are 50 and older. So anybody that's looking to get in shape, he's your man. And also too, David, like I said, in the past several weeks, he's a new grandfather. And I'm excellent. I'm happy to have him join the Rotary. And also too, David, you'll be sponsored by Harrison Turner. Just want to let you know, David, your membership application has been reviewed and approved in accordance with our club's constitution and bylaws. We will now proceed in admitting you into membership in the Rotary Club of Raleigh and the friendship of Rotary throughout the world. And you will answer all your questions with I will. Question 1, will you join? Question 1, real quick.
Question 1, will you join us as we strive to live a life of service above self?
I will.
Question 2,
I will.
question 3, will you join us in supporting Rotary's efforts worldwide, which focuses on these 7 areas: promoting peace, disease prevention, providing clean water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, and protecting the environment? All right, now I'm going to ask your sponsor, Harrison Turner, to pay you real quick. Hey, fellow Rotarians, I ask everybody to stand and join me in partial support for David Williams as his intro to our new prayer.
All right, welcome, David, and thank you, Devontae and Harrison. Please remember to welcome your friends, just to visit even, but expose them to Rotary. So with that, we're going to move on to our fundraising and our very exciting activities going on. John wanted some of the team that's been working with him to be speaking today as we get closer and closer to the event. So Mike, if you can come on up and present our update on our gala. When get up here, and then after that, we'll have our service by Kevin.
Thanks so much, President Eric. And thank you, everyone. As you know, and as John has been reminding everyone, we are working on our gala, which is coming up in a couple days, so only be a month away. This is, as a reminder, our major fundraiser. It's our largest fundraiser that we're going to be having this year. The success of this fundraiser does directly impact the ability for us as a club to support our community activities. One thing that we've been talking about is everyone's participation does matter. We understand that not everyone, can be a sponsor, you do everything, but there's always a way that anyone can help out. Like I said, there's multiple ways to contribute. The ways that we can support the gala are obviously sponsorships. If you can't sponsor yourself, maybe you have a company, maybe you have a friend, or you can even just attend. attend, bring a friend. If you're not able to attend, we also are taking just general donations. Even a small donation does go a long way, in the club being able to help, get to its goals. And lastly, kind of auction items. If you know someone, are you connected somewhere with somebody that might have something, do you have a service that you can provide? It's something in your business, something you could offer as an auction item. When we have everybody come together, that's, even just a little bit, everyone just does one little thing, that can make a huge impact. And from there, we're gonna, I guess what we're looking at right here, as you can see, we've crossed the 30,000 mark. That was kind of our baseline watermark that we needed to hit for us to make this a successful event. So we've hit $30,000. We're trying to make, I think we're gonna break $40,000 soon. I'd love to see for us to stretch and get to 50, but 50 might be a stretch. So you can see we have one gold sponsor already. We have the silver sponsors up here, First Bank, Transon, which is John's company, Smith Anderson, and North State Bank. There's some bronze sponsors as well, which we're not going to list off everyone. So I mean, our call to action. Maybe that's one. Call to action. Oh, we got beverage sponsors, so we got drinks. That's good. I thought we were going to, yeah. We at this point in time, we're constantly looking for sponsorships, but really our big thing is trying to find those auction items. I think we have Kirk is going to be our kind of keynote speaker / auctioneer, so I'm sure he's going to do a great job. But we need things for him to be able to get out there and sell or get people to put bids on. So that's it. I guess at this point, if we all come together, we all work together, we hit those big target goals, we'll get to as the gala motto is, see the magic of Rotary happen. So it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have a great party, and I look forward to seeing everyone there.
All right, thank you, Mike, very much. And Kevin is going to be doing double duty for Richard and himself today. So Kevin, with our service announcement.
Thank you, President Eric. On your tables, so as a segue into what we're talking about, the gala, this is something new. This month, our service project is supposed to be Wake Up and Read. That's going to be postponed to a future month. Something not on our end, something you call it Wake Up and Read. So our service project this month is related to the gala. We're asking that you go out and you'll get credit for a service project as well as a makeup. The forms on your table, you can take those to a business owner, a restaurant. We're looking for gift cards. As was just mentioned, we need gift cards, auction items. So these are not, we're not looking for you to get cash. We're looking for you to get items that we can auction off. It could be services, it could be gift cards, anything in kind. So if you, please, this is an easy service project because you don't actually have to clean up a stream or come out and answer that. All right, speaking of service, the drum roll, you guys already know the answer to this. We did not win the bell ringing award this year, so we came in second place. But I am very proud of the fun that we had out there in December. There was a long article that thanked a lot of people. We had 65 Rotarians that ran this year. That was the same number as last year. My last big plea to get people out there in the last week really worked, and I saw a lot of members that we haven't seen in a while come out and help us ring the bell. So I really appreciate that. We did lose by $823. Now, the good news is we raised more cash ringing the bell in our bucket than the carrier club. However, they have more generous donors that put in bigger checks than we did. So the check totals, we lost that one by they had they had $11,750 of checks and we had $10,025. So that was really the difference. So I'm hoping next year maybe a few more of you can throw a $100 check in and that'll help us out. So, but I am very happy with the results. We ran for 22 days. We staffed 98% of the shifts, which hats off. You guys always, let's give ourselves a that was 337 1-hour shifts because well, that was awesome. The top ringers, Richard's not here, I guess he knew that he was gonna come in second place, so. When he challenged me last year, I knew, you know, it was just all, just meant for fun, so anyway. But David Coates' law firm, I give them credit, David led up, they were number 2, I was number 1, Richard was number 3, Shake number 4. And Sevelin, which a lot of you don't see her, doesn't, she usually participates online. One of our longtime members, she was out there and she was the 5th, she ranked for 13 now. So great job, Sally. The best dressed board, Braxton's not here today, is he? You guys probably saw pictures of the inflatable costumes that he had. I thought that was wonderful, and I hope I'm challenging you guys to do even better next year. And our youngest fellow here is Mark Hackett, who's one of our members that participates online as well. He had his granddaughter out there ringing, so next year, if I get my, she'll be 11-month-old granddaughter out there, then maybe she'll. Thank you guys. It really does mean a lot to me, this project. And next year, we may do some, I have some challenges that I talked to Harrison. We'll look at some alternative schedules because there's some prime days where we need to be out there and we'll bring in both donors, you know, do something different to raise more money. So thanks, Eric.
And this kind of runs the season, if you will, on the Salvation Army bell ringing project. Kevin's passionate about that, is dogged and getting things done and contributing himself. So let's give Kevin one more round of applause. All right, right with that, we have time for a wrap up. Yeah, the raffle and $10 a raffle. I mean, oh, sorry. I confused it well enough myself.
All right, we have $60 going to today's winner, which is not bad for the crowd we got today. Let's see if we can get somebody here. So if you've got a ticket, full. We are looking for 825-266. Hey! With fundraiser himself. Excellent. Thank you all for everyone who played.
Great, thank you, Tommy, and I know where that's going to come. So Terry, Vice President Terry will be doing our $5 this time. Don't ignore the red buckets on the tables. Those are for checks and cash and bills for the Dementia Alliance of North Carolina. $5, Terry.
Thank you, President Eric. So I have got a challenge. Leslie's going to be the first one. I visited the New Orleans Rotary Club when I was on my travels, and they had $7 happy dollars when I was there. So we can beat them. We're going to start with Leslie.
I have 2 happy dollars, so only 5 to go, 6 to go. You want to beat them. So first of all, happy dollars for the close of our house that finally sold off Raleigh Realty. So delighted, took a long time, market's tough. And secondly, I got to see my grandson on Saturday. He turns 11 months old today.
Any other $100? You need to, oh, I see Sarah and then John. Here you go, Sarah.
Here I have 1,000, it's for, some of the old, like, Carrie and Surrey. Well, I'm an old time, and Ken is an old timer, he'll remember this person, Charlie, Reagan. This is for Polio Plus, and it's for Bill Lambert. Terry and I were not in town when he passed away on November 19th. And many of you remember him as a past president, as a local doctor. But I really Kevin from Belridge. And he had done a program before Belridge, but at Belridge, he talked to me about his mission. He had done his medical mission with Rotary. And it wasn't for polio, but polio was so important. And his mission was to form children's faces. And you just can't forget that Rotary talk about. Maybe I'm a little biased because I'm going to, but I remember him well, and I was sorry to this.
Thank you, Sarah.
I can give more, but first of all, happy because we have a gold sponsor. And that's a neighbor hunt. And Grace is not here, but we're super happy about that. Second thing that happened today, our new member, David Wood, has donated. David Williams. I did double check. David Williams has donated photography services for the game. And so
All right. Thank you, David. I see some more. I'm gonna go to Kent over here and then Wes, I'll go to you.
Sorry, it's not hard to stand up right. Actually, this is an unhappy dollar. So my unhappy dollar resulted Friday afternoon when I had to take back a gift I've given to my granddaughter that weighed 80 pounds. And I contacted Amazon and they said, well, yeah, just take it down to UPS and I'll take care of it. So I took it down to UPS and the thing that they had given me in return was not a shipping label, but just a mailing label. And so to mail this 80-pound package was $140. The whole thing would cost $200. Amazon gave us a gift card, electronic gift card, which we could use. But while I was over getting that taken care of, somebody ran into the back of my car. And I can tell you who it is, but you probably know who they were about. Anyway, we're gonna get that all worked out. But it was, as someone said, well, that sounds like kind of chaotic afternoon, wasn't it? I said, yeah, we had police there, we had people yelling at us because we moved away. Anyway.
Well, thank you for your happy dollars. All right, Weston.
Speaking of the Dimensional Alliance of North Carolina, the company I work for, Griswold Healthcare, will be a silver sponsor for the Raleigh Care Partner Conference at Northridge Country Club this Thursday. So I got 20 happy dollars for that.
Hi, any more, Jim?
Well, my happy dollars are for my fourth grandchild who was born 5 days ago, William Harrison Dorset. Joined big brother James, who's almost 2. And Will came immediately popular with James. He went somehow at only 2 days old, gave James a really awesome truck. So smart guy.
Congratulations, Jim. All right, listen.
I'm gonna have to do the $5 happy dollars. Tell somebody else to say it, but $5 happy dollars for Duke showing what good basketball looks like. So let's go Duke.
No. Thank you. Any more happy dollars? We definitely need the New Orleans Club. Thank you guys so much, Sarah and Terry. Thank you all very much for the donation and ring the bell.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. And yeah, we spoke to the New Orleans Club. That's terrific. And I guess you're happy that it's not that day. So anyways, we have birthdays and anniversaries. The only birthday we have is on the 8th of this week. And that is Mary Moss, who I believe is off right now celebrating her birthday in some wonderful location. So Mary, everybody's here. Wish her a happy birthday. Talk about the upcoming programs that we have coming, and before I do that, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who came to the meeting at the pool golf course. A wonderful meeting, great food. Randy Wilson did a magnificent job. A lot of good comments came back from people, but I wanted to make sure we thank David Forrest and Linda because they made the arrangements for all that to happen. So let's thank them one more time. Other upcoming programs, next one up on the 10th will be Tony Rice from NASA. He was rescheduled from last year and looking forward to that. I believe he's going to talk about the Deep Space Network. He's actually been out there in the field of satellite missions, not satellite missions, deep space missions, and he's going to be talking about that. We have Bill King. We just finally locked down Bill King, who is the president of the Downtown Raleigh Alliance. He's talking about the new strategic plan for Raleigh, so that should be very, very exciting. And then we have Sunrock Construction coming up on the 3rd. And then Heather Lee from Raleigh's Hidden History, she has a lot of amazing stories to tell about Raleigh's hidden history. So not a program to miss among those, they're excellent. So with that, we're going to have our wonderful program for today and to introduce our speaker, Michelle Wesson. So Michelle.
Hi, guys. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful start to Monday, and we get to have Dick's Conservancy as one of our speakers. I'm super excited. You get to take art, you get to take nature, you get to take environmental concerns and put that in the town of Raleigh. So I'm super, super excited with this. Want to give a little introduction to Marjorie Hodges. Marjorie is a long-time museum professional and community leader. Marjorie has advocated for artists and curating and facilitating significant expeditions from Contemporary Art Museum in Raleigh to Flanders Gallery to the North Carolina Museum of Art. As Director of External Relations, she has special projects there at the Art Museum. She has helped secure significant public art installations and acquisitions for Anne and Jim Goodnight Museum Park. She continues to support public art initiatives in regions here and beyond. Today, she works as an independent art consultant. She's serving as an advisor for both private collectors and corporate collectors projects, including Duke Raleigh Hospital, the Palin Group, Kane Realty, and more. So she serves as the secretary of Dick's Park Conservancy Board. She's the chair of the Arts Task Force, and as the heart of her efforts is a deep passion for art, culture, and commitment to local initiatives as at Dick's Park. I am proud and I'm honored to introduce Marjorie Hodges.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. Well, I'm honored to be here today. I did some research. Of course, I'm familiar with the Rotary Club. I have to tell you a kind of a funny story. I grew up in a small town in northern Florida, and they had a Rotary Club and Kiwanis Club. And I was one day a week, I would get to leave school and help. I played the piano at the luncheon when they sang the national anthem. And then I would, help serve, and then I would get to go back to school. So I've been to a lot of Rotary Club meetings, even though I'm not a Rotary, but you should all be honored. When I read it's the largest and most prestigious service organization in the world, and hearing you all today, and whether it's ringing bells or supporting Dick's Park and meaningful things, I'm just really grateful to be here. It's super fun. I cannot see this. It's okay if I just let this be, so I can kind of see it and move along. Oh, okay, thank you. So Dick's Park, I love art, but Dick's Park is very unique in that it is truly the most important public park project in the United States right now. And when we talk to people, I mean, it's almost impossible to have 300 acres to work with. In this future of this park, which will take time, but you are going to see all the things that make a great national park. And that is number one, when some of the old buildings are gone, and we're going to, of course, keep the ones with architectural significance, but when some of those are gone, it's going to reveal the rolling hills and the gorgeous trees. And just to let you know, the master plan, does include restoring some of those natural spaces and creating new spaces for you to gather with your friends and family. So it is an important project. When we travel around the United States, we're stunned at, we've got a great opportunity here. So it's going to be the South Central Park is kind of the way I refer to it. So as we planned the park, I love that we didn't just jump in. The City nor the Conservancy just started doing things. We really spent time and a great deal of money to develop a master plan, and that was done by Michael von Valkenburg and Associates out of New York, and they have great experience in parks, including the Brooklyn Ridge Park. Part of that, as I said, is open spaces, and then there is a section of the strategic plan that says, and the master plan, that arts and culture must be a part of that. So that is what I'm here today to talk about, is the arts and culture that will happen at Dix Park, both this year and last year, this year, and going forward. Public art. A lot of people say, well, what is public art? Public art is outdoor art, sculptures or installations that are free and open to the public. They're usually in public spaces. I've got one here, this is Philadelphia, but when you think of Chicago, most people think of Millennium Park. It's because of the sculptures in the park that it draws people there. In addition, I mean, when we talk about New York City, everybody knows about the Statue of Liberty, but that is an example of public art. And so we're committed at Dix Park to bring public works by local, national, and international artists. The first one is this beautiful, it's hard to see it from here, but it's called A Tune, and it's by Wick Godfrey, and he's a nationally known artist. He went to Yale University and teaches at Colgate, and he is well known for his sculptures. If you have ever visited the stone houses, which SECU, State Employees Credit Union, was a sponsor of, so I want to thank them. And it has become a gathering space. We've had concerts out there and just children stand and then they get their picture made. And so it creates, what public art does is create a sense of place. And we are not trying to bring, we have a gorgeous art museum park already. So we're not trying to just bring pretty sculptures in. We're trying to develop a sense of place in a place where people gather and for all ages. This is a local artist, Lamar Whitney, and this is called Get Well Soon. And that is a large scale work. It's his daughter actually holding flowers. And it was kind of, you know, health and wellness is about nature, but there's also a history with the Dorothy and Diggs Hospital. And so we wanted to pay tribute to what has been there and hope for the future. If you've been along Lake Wheeler Road, you probably noticed these tremendous power poles. The power poles were there, but we thought, how do we welcome guests to the Play Plaza with these two big power poles? So it was Tom Gibson and Duke Energy was very willing to work with us to create two beautiful power poles. So they are functioning power poles, and this is an example of creative infrastructure as public art. So when you go down, I really encourage you to drive by on Lake Wheeler Road because they are so tremendous that when you're coming from far away, it looks like you're going to go like drive through the sunflowers. It's a really interesting work of art, and they also reflect the spaces around them. So that's an example of public art as creative infrastructure. Throughout the park, we've had various things. The city of Raleigh has an arts program, so they are bringing works. We had a light installation. We did a mural downtown. We also have the world's tiniest park in downtown that was done through the city of Raleigh and the Conservancy. So it's a combination of large public scale works and then interactive experiences throughout the park. Another work that's coming, this is Jackie Shelton Green. She's North Carolina's Poet Laureate. And we are doing a large scale public work with one of her poems. So that will be coming in 2025. This is another example. This is Johnny Lee Chapman. And he wrote some beautiful words about Dix Park, and those will welcome you when you come to the Play Plaza. There's a wonderful house called the House of Many Porches. That's one of the works, one of the homes that's been restored. And so there's a beautiful point, but I also want to point out, restoring those buildings that have significance and finding alternative uses for those. This is a picture of the play plaza, and I asked them to add this. This isn't technically the art, but it's an art project in its own way. These amazing structures were built in Germany and then deassembled and then rebuilt on Dix Park. So this will open in May. I'm sure that we will have a way to welcome you there either prior to the opening or for the opening. And this is not just for children. I mean, it's not a playground, it's a play plaza with gathering spaces and places for moms to, sit in the shade and have a cup of coffee while still being able to see their children. So it's a very thought out play plaza. And it's designed to help kids make decisions about play. And I'm not the expert on the play plaza, but I do think it's a very thoughtful approach to play. When we were young, you just play and you would fall and you would hurt your knee and you just get up. That's part of growing up. And I think they've just made decisions so that a young child can say, do I want to go that? Not, and even if they don't, there's an option for them. So it's about constantly challenging children to make decisions for themselves, even about play. And there's a replica of the Yates Mill. I guess, what do you call it?
Yates Mill proper, Watermill Mountain.
Watermill Mountain. So it's a replica of that. The children get to participate in the watermill. They get to turn it and see how it works. So it's an educational playground, fun play, real play. And now, what you've probably heard about is Thomas Sambo and the Trolls, and we're so grateful that you're interested in this project, that you're having your gala, at Dix Park. The Reeds, as I said, SACU, we have so many wonderful supporters. But I cannot wait to tell you about this, and I'm grateful. We're all grateful for your support. So Thomas Sambo is the world's most famous recycling artist. He has made works in 20 countries in 5 continents. And the process, he creates these trolls, but they're good trolls. They're there to protect the land and to teach us all about recycling, about not filling our landfills with trash. So his message is that we have to be mindful of what we're using and what we're throwing away. So all of these huge trolls around the world have been made with recycled materials. We are, at this point, we're actually already collecting things. For example, there was a property that was being developed and it had a long fence all the way around it, a cypress fence. So we deassembled that and it's being stored for him to work with. But in September and October, he will come here with his crew. He will spend weeks building this on site with community volunteers. Of course, it's going to be organized, but there may be an opportunity for y'all to be engaged if you'd like to do this. He will teach as he builds. It's amazing. In every place that he has been, I'll give you an example. Before we made the decision to finally bring Thomas, he's got a list of cities around the world that wanted to come. We called Austin, Texas. They have trolls there. We called the director of the park and we said, well, how did it work out? And then, are you pleased? He said, you've got to be prepared. He said, hundreds of thousands of people came to see the trolls. In Maine, when they brought the trolls, they literally doubled their attendance. So this is a proven project of public art and engagement with communities, and we're so excited to bring it here. There's some things I'm not sure I'm allowed to say yet or not say, but it will be unique in that we'll have, I think it's going to be a parent troll and a child troll, and there may be some real surprises. So can't say more about it. Let's show some pictures. So this is the troll map. It's kind of hard to see on here, but they are truly all over the world. That's gonna help when you see the scale. They're absolutely huge. And remarkably, that the community builds them. It's just an extraordinary process. The other thing that he does is creates an entire fairy tale. He's a writer as well, so he writes this fairy tale story, names the trolls, so you can kind of experience them in that way as well. Before we close, why not, could we open it up for questions? Would y'all like to ask questions and?
Best question.
Anybody have a question?
Thank you for the wonderful description of the incredible art. The big part. What can you tell us about the phases of completion of the different aspects of the park? And when you
Okay, he was asking me about the phases of the park. As I mentioned, it's a really long-term process, but phase one is the opening of the play plaza. And that will open in May. The trolls will open in the fall. I don't have the exact date, but September, or October would be installation and unveiling. As far as earlier projects, we have another phase that was complete with the renovation of the stone houses, which were already on the property, but were in, not in good condition. So we restored those, and now that's the offices for the Dixmoor Conservancy. There's also an artist in residency. His name is Preston Montague, and he is I'm so glad that you asked this question, because I did want to tell you about him as well. He is a landscape architect, and he creates art through landscape architecture. So we're excited about what he will do at Dixmoor too. And sustainability is so important. And I know you mentioned that in your, goals. Building community is what Dix that's what it's all about, is building community and promoting health and wellness. So what the public art does, it gives reasons for people to visit. It gives them something to experience. And in doing that, they're going outside, they're walking, they're getting together as a family. So building community, promoting health and wellness is really what it's about. And speaking of the landscape architecture, Sarah has done just a beautiful job in helping Dix around the stone houses and in other areas to make sure we're using native plants and things that are sustainable and beautiful. So good shout out to her, because she's done an amazing job. As far as other phases, it's like I said, it's a long-term process, but on our website, the master plan does have a 10-year plan that should be up soon, so you can kind of see exactly. Another important phase this year, knocking on wood, is taking down some of those buildings that are blocking the views, costing money, not being used. As soon as the state wall is completely off, we do still have DHHS working on the property. So some things can't really happen right away, but you will start to see some of the dilapidated buildings come down, which it's just gonna unveil this gorgeous park with 200-year-old oak trees. It's just gonna be stunning, in addition to all of these things that we're bringing. Any other questions?
Can you talk a little bit about where on the park the trolls are gonna be and why you selected that site?
Okay, that is another great question. You ask why, where would it be and why did we select that site? Well, Thomas Sambo does not want the trolls just to be out there. He wants you to have to discover them. So because of that, we chose an area in the Pine Grove that is near the Flower Cottage, if you've been out there. So you will have to discover, the troll. And that's part of the fun too, is, bring your children or your grandchildren. I keep hearing about these grandchildren. They're gonna love it. They're gonna absolutely love it because you have to walk and try to find the troll. And the large troll, I believe, will be in the woods. And there will be a child that is hanging on to the troll's tail, which goes all the way through the woods. And so I believe the child troll will be peeking out of the woods. And then you'll have to follow the tail of mother troll or parent troll. Artists are very, I love sharing details, but artists are very, they come to a space and they work and you never know exactly how it's gonna turn out. We just have to give him this creative freedom. Thomas has done these all over the world and they're remarkable.
How many trolls?
2, for sure. We started thinking about a family of trolls, but we don't know if we're gonna do that. Definitely 2. A large one and a small one. Okay. Any other questions?
Great, thank you, Marjorie, and its support team that's here for this. It's a great program. It's very exciting. We're excited about the park. Sarah, as you pointed out, has been a supporter of the park since day one, practically. And it's interesting. I was thinking as I was listening to this, if you talk to city planners or regional planners, if you look at successful cities, a successful city is growing, it's attracting new people, it's got development going on. One of the consistent things that are happening in every successful city is there's a focus on arts in the city. So I think there's a business aspect to this, as well as the enjoyable thing, as well as the environmental thing and the bridge family. So thank you very much for this. John is working on this as part of the gala. And so this is a terrific project. So thank you, everybody. With that, we want to thank all our visitors from that have joined us today for being with us. And with that, we'll recite the 4-way test. So if all Rotarians will please stand. About the things we think, say, and do.